Hello, welcome to the Eurozone once again on the Our Media channel with me, Josiah, where we'll be taking a look at the two games that were played in the semi-final stage of the ongoing Euro 2024 tournament. Spain coming from behind to beat France by 2-1 in the first semi-final game, but then also in the second semi-final game, it was the same drama where England also had to come from behind to beat the L'Orange of the Netherlands by 2-1. So it's all set in the grand finale. It's Spain coming up against England, but we'll be reviewing the games that were played. First, we'll start off with the Spain-France game, and I've been joined in the studio by Force. Welcome, Force. Let's start off with that game where it was a Colomwani header, and then Spain just, shifted to fifth gear, and they were unstoppable after going down.
Well, Josiah, I wasn't really surprised about the outcome, even though I thought that France was going to win. I did predict that France should have won that game, but the dynamics of the game did change, right? Because right after Colomwani got that header, they recoiled into their shells, and France, the Spanish team just came into the game, right? With what's the name? Lamine Yamal scoring one of the best goals in the tournament. Fantastic decision by our standard. You don't expect a 17-year-old or a 16-year-old, to have the precision, to have the confidence, to have the temerity to be taking such shots. But at the end of the day, he did take it and he did score. It just shows you the maturity about the player. But you see, on the whole, I think that it is the desire of the Spanish national team to want it more. It is the desire of the Spanish national team and the want on the part of the French. Because if you look at the attitude of the French national team, you realize that it's as if they do not want to go the extra mile, right? But I think on the day too, tactically, I think Didier Deschamps did an error. Did commit an error. You know what I mean?
Where they get it wrong?
Yeah, I think taking off N'Golo Kante, then bringing on Griezmann. You see, on the day, N'Golo Kante was their most effervescent player on the day, right? Linking attack to defense. He was closing down the spaces. Yeah. But the moment they took him off, the attack dwindled. Griezmann came in and was absolutely zero. He absolutely added nothing to the game. So you realize that tactically and their changes as well did not bring the impact that he had wanted. The Spanish were able to contain the French. Their substitutions were spot on. And after going 2-1 up, the French did not really come into the game again. So you see that I am not really disappointed because the Spanish have been so far one of the best teams in the championship, and they did deserve to qualify.
But talking about France, you think Kylian Mbappe really having a good tournament? We saw him score just once, and also the only assist he had in the entirety of the tournament was that cross to Colomwani, to set him up against Spain.
If not for the name Kylian Mbappe, I would say that he's been the poorest in the tournament.
Well, he's been the poorest player.
He's been the poor. You see, names must come to the party. You don't have to be the biggest just in name. You have to be the biggest in name and in performance.
Yeah,
I get to the point. And you see, it is the result of his poor performance that has led to the exit of the French national team. Because from minute 1 in the first game to the minute 90th in the last game, he's been utterly poor.
All right, so Spain, they've been able to book their place in the final. But then also, there was another semi-final game where England had to take on the Netherlands. And it was Xavi Simons that, just sent some shivers down the spines of the English fans. But they responded very well. Harry Kane dispatching the penalty. And it took a 90th minute, Oli Watkins' goal to take England to the finals for the second.
Josiah, it doesn't matter how you start the tournament. It's about how you finish the tournament, right? It doesn't matter how you start a journey. It's about how you finish the journey and how well you finish it. Yeah. And that is exactly the script that the English have been able to write. And I am sure that come Sunday, they're going to fully write the script. But on the day against the Dutch, one thing I did, I am not really a fan of Gareth Southgate. Wow. And on the day, he did prove me right. I get to the point because, you see, it got to a time that I thought that after they have gotten the penalty and they had equalized in the second half, he needed fresh legs. But I do not really understand the instructions that he gave the players because they had slowed the game down. And I thought that the first 45 minutes of the game were their best in the whole in the entirety of the tournament. Where Kobe Mainoo was fantastic, where Declan Rice was not all that good, but Kobe Mainoo just run the show. He ran
the Kobe Mainoo show.
That was the first time in the decade, right, where the Dutch national team had been totally outplayed in any tournament.
Wow.
Against the Spanish national team, I am not sure that the English are going to enjoy so much, possession.
No.
Even if they do, they need a striker who has movement with him. They don't need a striker who is going to drop deep into midfield, trying to orchestrate attack, because that is not the responsibility. If you need somebody like that, then why don't you rather bring Jude Bellingham to pair with what's the name?
The number 8 position.
Number 8 position. Then it means that you have to take Kobe off the game, which is practically impossible because of what he's been able to do. So then it means that you need a proper number 6, put Jude Bellingham on the bench, and then put an attacking, creative midfielder
in the number 10 position.
Thank you, in the form of a Cole Palmer or a Phil Foden. And then Watkins is not going to start.
Yeah.
Harry Kane is going to start. So you give Harry Kane the start, but you give him instructions to stay up front. It shouldn't come too much deep. And it gives you the opportunity to what? To surprise the Spanish national team.
All right. So that's it. We've been listening to the incisive analysis from Atiga Mauli for us. The final is set in Berlin, and it's Spain coming up against England. The first time these two teams are going to meet in the grand finale of the European Championship. Where do you think it's going to go, Spain against France?